So the question was, what do you understand by the phenomenon of temperature inversion meteorology, and how does it affect weather and inhabitants of the place? Okay, so when you are having this kind of questions, which are from the physical geography part, you can break down the question first. This is the first thing you have to do. Break down the question and first of all try to understand what is being asked there. In this question, which are the parts you need to address? One, what is temperature inversion, right? So how will you start your answer? By saying what is temperature inversion. Then next thing to address, how does it affect weather and inhabitants of the place. So one part it is dealing with what is temperature inversion, and the other part is dealing with what are its effects. Okay, so like in this question, like it's not a 200-word question, rather a 100-word question. So you are having word limit there. You cannot bring up all the concepts you studied regarding temperature inversion into your answers, right? First thing, let's start with saying what is temperature inversion. Okay, as a definition you can say normal lab state is inverted, but you shouldn't write it like that there. You have to convey that properly to the evaluator, right? So what will you say? Normally the temperature with elevation it decreases, right? But in the case of temperature inversion, with elevation we will be having decreasing or increasing? Increasing temperature. And if you are writing this, I mean normal lab state is inverted, make sure you draw a picture there, right? If you are drawing a picture there itself, I mean like a small kind of, just few lines, you are conveying it there properly, it means like you will be able to connect it with the evaluator properly. Okay, so like make sure this, I mean if you are writing an answer for the geography things, make sure you always draw, I mean like pictures. It need not be very neat, very taking much time, it need not be like that. Okay, it should be, what your aim should be like, whatever you are writing there, you have to convey it properly to the evaluator. And these people who are correcting the GS1 answers like need not be a sector specialist, need not be one who knows geography a lot. Okay, they will be having key with them. So if you are bringing points in the key, you will fetch mark. But if you are able to, I mean connect more with the evaluator, you will fetch more marks. Clear? So what picture can you draw here by saying like while saying what is temperature inversion? I mean like you can draw the normal condition picture as well as the kind of in a temperature inversion kind of thing, what happens there. It need not be like this, I mean like you can draw it like earth surface, here we will be having warm air, above that we will be having cold air, and you can label this as normal condition. And during the temperature inversion condition, the same figure, we will be having cold air piled up near the surface, above that we will be having warm air. Okay, so we have brought there what is temperature inversion, short term, or you can bring up saying like a short duration. Is causes being asked in the question? No, right? But we have to bring up that thing, I mean causes. But will you take more words, around 50 words for explaining causes? What do you think? Should you do like that? No, we have to address the causes, but we have to keep the word limit in mind. Okay, and what I am suggesting, you can bring up the causes where you are talking about temperature inversion. You can bring up the causes in your introduction by saying, taking 2 lines, you can say, I mean what are the causes, right? So you can bring those all contents like, I mean like what are the causes into your introduction part. Polar regions, cloudless winter night, air drainage and subsidence from upper troposphere. Okay, but need not take much word for this, right? Make that in mind, I mean keep that in mind. Then the effects. While discussing effects, they have separately asked weather effects as well as like what are the effects on habitants. Okay, suppose we know that the weather effect, one effect is frost formation. So you are writing under the heading effect of, I mean like weather effect, and writing there frost formation. But simply like you are explaining the frost formation will result in huge damage to the agriculture. Just one line. Is that sufficient? What do you think? I mean like if you are writing frost formation as a weather effect of temperature inversion, you have to connect that point back to the question. Now, what is the question, like how is temperature inversion causing frost formation there? That's what you are writing there, right? So just don't limit yourself by saying what is frost formation. You have to connect it back into the question. You have to substantiate your point. This is really important. I mean wherever you are writing a point, make sure you link it back into the question, right? So by saying like, I mean like if I am giving a separate subheading as frost formation, okay, I'll explain like what is, I mean like how is temperature inversion related with frost formation, or how is temperature inversion causing frost formation. Okay, now suppose, imagine like you want to address the effect on habitants also. So you can address it here itself. I mean like suppose the frost, due to frost formation, what happens is that it will destroy the crops, right? So that it's not suitable to cultivate, I mean like settle in places having temperature inversion. So what if you are addressing these 2 points as separately? Under one heading you address frost formation, effect on weather, and you are having another heading, effect on habitants. There again you have to bring up this point there, right? It will be repetition. So wherever you can avoid this repetition, do that. Now which all points you can combine and explain, you can bring it into the one heading itself. So what it does actually, like it saves your time as well as like it saves your word limit, right? Now while explaining the frost formation, first we explained how is frost formation related with temperature inversion. How? If you are having cold air getting settled down near the surface, it will reduce the temperature below freezing point, resulting in frost formation. Now due to frost formation, I mean like the fruit orchards and the crops will get destroyed overnight. So it's not suitable for cultivation. So that you are addressing the effect on habitants part also. Clear? Then while writing fog, I mean like wherever this warm cold air which is bordering with the warm air, it will result in the condensation as fog. Okay, and it will reduce the visibility. That's the effect on habitants. Fog will reduce the visibility. Again, if fog combines with the smoke resulting from the vehicular exhaust or chimneys, it will result in, I mean if we inhale that, it will result in respiratory problems. Suppose if someone is writing like this, it results in fog plus smoke results in fog. He is not explaining back into the temperature inversion, or he is not explaining how does it affect the, I mean like the habitants. You will not fetch mark there, right? So if you are bringing a point, make sure you are linking it back into the question as well as you are linking it to all the aspects of the question. Clear? Fine. So the effect of fog, it reduces visibility. Then effect of smoke, it results in respiratory problems. Suppose again if you are writing due to smoke formation, it will result in several health hazards. Will you fetch marks? So there is another statement like this. If you are inhaling smoke, it will result in respiratory problems. Which one will get more mark? Which one is more conveying actually? The second one, right? So don't write like several health hazards. Now if you are saying several health hazards, address what are the several health hazards. Don't write such kind of vague statements. Okay. Then degrees rainfall. I mean if you are having temperature inversion, if the cold air is getting settled near to the surface, they are more denser, right? It will not rise up. If the air is not rising up, it will not result in rainfall. So again we are saying like this results in it decreases or discourages rainfall. Again there itself we have to mention, or we have to link it to the effect on habitants. Understood? Then by how will you conclude your answer? Especially like in the case of this, I mean like geography questions where your perspective is not being asked, you need not write in a conclusion. I mean suppose you need not write like this, I mean like temperature inversion is resulting in several hazards and it's unavoidable, it occurs frequently. You need not write those things, right? Stick with what is being asked there. This is only from the perspective of physical geography questions. Suppose if the question is like this, I mean like some other question, how is humanizing landscape affecting monsoon? Discuss. Again a question related with physical geography, but there your perspective is being asked, right? In such questions you need to write conclusion. But here from, I mean directly from the concept related questions related with physical geography, you need not write your conclusion because your perspective is not being asked there. Clear? So here by I mean like you can end your answer by saying that due to all these things, due to being visibility being reduced, agriculture damage as well as like health hazards, habitants avoid settling in the valley bottoms and they settle in the valley slope. This is one of the important point regarding this question. If you miss that, it will be a core point. If you miss that, you lose at least 1 mark from the your entire mark. I mean, like if you get a question like this where you can break down the question, take keywords from the question itself. Give a separate heading for temperature inversion. Give another separate heading for effects on weather and habitants. Right? Again, if you can bring up other subheadings, it's very nice.